Hey Phil, got another video here. Wanted to let you know about Mission Impossible PC sent me. The violin section or the orchestra string section, it looks like they're just doing a run up rather than a slide, and that is of course a legato run, and it's being covered up by brass and other instruments, so you can't really hear all the slight articulation of a legato run of strings. Here's what it would sound like when a string does a portamento, which is a complete slide up. And I'm showing you this. This right here is my Vienna Instruments patches, all my software patches that do various things like detach, of course, you got the pizzicato, and then sforzado. But anyway, here is a portamento. This is the slide all the way up, naturally how it would really sound. Now, that's not really what's happening in that piece. It's more or less a very fast run. Now, there are patches like these that come with Vienna, which I don't have right now, but I'm going to get, which are the runs that range from a half octave to a whole octave. And then, of course, you can stack these runs and use them in major or minor keys. When you get the whole library of in the just the string section, there's a myriad of things you can do with that, which you can obviously imagine. But since you don't have that luxury, we have to find out what to do. Well, what I did was, when I worked with Garriton strings, that's all I had when I did Time to Fly, that took a lot of work. And because, first of all, Garriton isn't the best in terms of software, because it doesn't have that many articulations recorded. It's not so much that it has bad patches, it's there's not that very many. So you're very limited. So there is some software patches on there for strings, and they're legato, but I don't think they're actually called legato. I can't remember what they're called. But you're wanting the smooth transition scale, you know. And this is regular legato, and what we want is a fast legato. So let's go over here to our violins, or violas rather, and let's go into the patch here. Chamber string, chamber violas. Okay, we want to do, oh, you know what? I actually don't have in the chamber violas, but we can go to, instead, I can go to my other string, because I will have violas here. It won't be chamber violas, but it'll just be the whole orchestra viola. That's fine. Now, this is the, excuse me. All right. Now, this is the fast legato. So let's put in the fast legato here. And then I'm going to take this legato right here and just bring the volume down. So all we hear is fast legato. Now you can tell the difference between regular legato now. It's not keeping up, and that's the beauty of having all these different patches. Is now here's the fast legato. All right, so you don't have that probably in East-West, but I don't know if you have, like, they might have an all-around legato, and you just have to work with it. Now, regardless. I didn't have this with the Garriton, so I had probably worse than you in terms of variety. So now we have our legato patch, and I'm just going to go with the regular legato patch since that's all I had in Garriton. And I'll come back to this so we can see the difference. But now we will find our little run that we've created. What I did is I just did a simple run up in C. Now let's just I stacked it together. I put it at about 130 in terms of its tempo, and here we go. That's pretty much it. So when you have, and then of course, depending on if that particular piece is in a minor key, will mean all the difference, but generally speaking, this is what we have. Now, if we add the patch to be fast legato, you might see a slight difference. See that? Or rather hear that? So that's what you can do in the fix. And then of course, if you're going to have, if you're going to use a cheaper software, which is not a bad software, it's just a cheaper version with not as many selections, you don't really want to expose your string section that's not designed for what you're doing, and just leave it like, hey, look at us, this is what we're doing, and then show your lack of something. You want to try to cover it a little bit with some other instruments in the orchestra. Of course, if your patches are designed to do that, then you can leave them and expose them and show them off for how good they sound for that particular instant. But in your case, you don't have that. So while you can still get away with doing this, it still doesn't quite, even in Vienna, that patch right there doesn't sound real. I mean, you can get away with it, but the only way you do is when you're adding other instruments over the top and it's part of a larger tapestry. So that's the only thing I got for you. Let me know if you have any other questions, but that's pretty much all I got.